Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adobe Life. My name is Julia Masalska. I'm your host today, and I'm here with the amazing Lina Cordero.
Hi, guys.
Hey!
Thanks for having me, Julia.
Welcome back, Lina. Today is our day 2 of our branding and identity design streams. And today, Lina is going to mock up things that she's created yesterday. And we are also going to create some more assets based on the designs she was working on yesterday. Welcome, everybody in the chat. I see some familiar faces here. Jacob, Raphael, PM is back. Vuduva, good to see you. Lisa is here. Ali. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. I know you guys are coming from different parts of the world, so sometimes it can be really late in your country. So thanks for joining. Let us know where you guys are from. Natasha is from Canada. Cool. MBA Ken is from Pakistan. As you can see, we have people from all over the world. All right, guys. So Lina, so amazing to have you here. I'm really happy to stream with you again. Guys, a quick intro to our to the plan for today. So we're going to the live streams will continue after us with the XD Daily Creative Challenge with Andrea Hawk, and then there will be a draw along with Kyle T. Webster. He's a very talented person and designer, I would say illustrator. And then you will have the Vuduval and Chris Burasa with design off. That's always really fun. Vuduval is so good at it. So make sure to submit your daily creative challenges today. Thanks, Claudia, for introducing those. Let's quickly switch to my screen so I can show you how this works. Really quick jump into the daily creative challenge and how to participate. All right, so if you go on to behance.net/challenge/illustrator, you will find this page where you can take the challenge. Hi, Julia, take the challenge. Yes, I will. And here you will be guided to the Discord chat that we have where you can share your work. And this is where we are going to be reviewing your work in about 85 minutes. So make sure to submit. Yay. And let me quickly update the page. And today's challenge is patterns. You can rewatch the video about Claudia introducing the patterns to you, and then you can click get started, and you can also get the starter file if you don't know how to set up a file yet. And I'm sure Claudia also provides some extra content in her starter files. So this is how it works. And this is the Discord channel. Then when you submit your work, go onto the hashtag challenge. And this is where we are going to be reviewing. As you can see, there is already a lot of amazing work coming along. And I'm looking forward to review some of your works later on. So make sure to submit that. So Lina, give us a little intro about yourself.
Hi again. Okay, I'm gonna make this very brief because I see a lot of familiar faces, so we've already been through these, but my name is Lina Cordero. I live in LA. I'm originally from Costa Rica with Colombian roots. I am a creative director and designer and owner of Only Child Design. This is our site. We are a full service design and branding studio based here in LA. And we do a little bit of everything. Most of our things come in the branding world, but we do web design and asset creation, any print assets, packaging. So for my work, I wanted to show you really quick this project because I think it does it relates to what we're going to be doing today. This is the branding for an event called We Are All Grow Latina. They have a yearly summit, and this was the branding for their 2020 summit. And so what I did their overall branding, but we heavily focused on social media templates because all of their audience comes from their social media network. So here are some of the templates that I created for them. And the way that I worked with them, again, something that I think we touched on yesterday, but working with smaller businesses that have a smaller budget, I always try to set them up for success after I'm out. So I really like working with templates and things that they can modify later on when I'm not there. So these were their social media templates that I created for them. And well, and then we went into website too, and a couple
really
more
cute.
things, but this does relate to what we're doing today. So that's all I'm going to show you guys, because I don't want to lose time with my own work. But in my website, one quick thing that I wanted to show you yesterday, when we talked about the onboarding process, and in the entire episode there were some questions about resources and just things that we talked about, including my onboarding client questionnaire. So I prepared this page for you guys that were here yesterday.
It's thank you so much. That is awesome.
You're welcome. Onlychilddesign.com/Adobe Live. And here you can find all of the resources that we talked about yesterday. So today, I'm sure some more things are gonna come up, and I'll be happy to update these at the end so you guys can have this as well. But we went through the one that I got a lot of messages about were the branding questionnaire. So this one, it's here, and you can just click in there and you'll get access to that. And I hope it works for you guys.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I believe for so many people it will be so helpful. And Lisa is already saying, oh, that's nice. Thanks a lot. Buduval is also saying, nice. Great. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing.
You're very welcome. I hope it works for you guys. And today, so after our debate yesterday, I put in a poll on social media, and it ended up being social assets by a lot. That one won by a lot. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working on digital assets. I'm thinking of doing, social media covers and Instagram templates like the ones that I showed you guys. And maybe we can get into gift stickers as well if we have the time.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I can't wait to that. And I think social media is so important for so many brands these days, right? So those assets, really great to see how you are making them.
Yes, no, right now, I mean, and we're going through a more special time right now where social media is what's really connecting their brands to their audience. So yeah, I think it's super important. Sure. Okay, so for the process of these, I prepared a couple things in here. I'm gonna show you how my messy brain works and how I usually do things. Today is gonna be a special because, again, we're working. So yesterday we created the logo, and actually I'm gonna do a quick refresh from what we did yesterday. So for the people that weren't here, they can catch up. Basically, yesterday we created one of the logos where we departed from three different mock-ups with totally different feels. And we worked on one of the logos. I had already worked on the other two. And we submitted this to the client. And she chose...
The client, in fact, was in the chat.
Yes, I hope she's here today.
Yeah, Maria, let us know if you're here.
See. It's good. We can get immediate feedback. That's
right?
That's amazing. So... guess which one she chose, Julia.
You guys guess which one, 1, 2, or 3. We had long debates about 2 or 3, and 2 or 3 and 3 seem to be your guys' favorites. So now I want you to guess. Type in the chat 1, 2, or 3. I really like the first one as well. I mean, it's really nice. I just feel like maybe she thought that maybe it's not that adaptable to, to different layouts and stuff, because it seems to be very packed. There's a lot of objects in the logo, so maybe that's why she was like, I like 2 or 3. What do you guys think?
Most of you guys 2, 3.
Yeah,
3.
I see a lot
2,
of 2s
1.
here. And we have somebody writing pineapple also too.
Yeah, no, for this logo, for the pineapple one, I think that's one of the logos that you would definitely need different versions, because this wouldn't work in a lot of settings.
Yeah.
Okay, so 22.
Okay, let us know, Lina.
And okay, yeah, it is 3. So we're gonna be working on this
Hey,
look today
awesome. Yeah, I like
for
this one.
the social media assets. And one thing that I like when I'm doing social media assets, which actually today we're gonna be working on like 2 parallel things, because what I do right after the client decides on the logo, I go ahead and create the environment, the branding environment, which includes the color palette, the fonts, and like any icons, photography style, etc. But because we haven't worked on that, because we received feedback last night, um, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start like mixing things, and from there we're gonna end up with our brand environment. So it's like working backwards. But I actually, with my clients, sometimes I actually do these, because even if I'm working on the brand guidelines, after on the brand guidelines, I do get a little bit of layout and template design, so I can see how those brand guidelines are really working in a real scenario. So that really helps.
Lina, there is a question in the chat. People are asking about the criteria how Maria chose the logo. Did she give you any feedback, or what exactly did she say that led her to the decision?
Okay, so Maria was very, like, she's into the reality is that she's very conflicted between 2 and 3 right now. She likes both. She really likes the logo of number 2. See what we were talking yesterday about mixing the 2?
Mixing up, yeah.
Exactly. She did not learn anything from our chat. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Maria. She actually is between those 2, and she still is. But the reason why we're working number 2 today is because she likes the color palette of number 3. It's because she likes the color palette of number 3. And what I suggested to her is, let's work with that, with the color palette, because at the end of the day, in Instagram templates and in layout, it's going to be more important to have the color palette and the secondary choice font choices than the logo per se. So if anything, if she really, really, really misses number 2 after these, maybe we can incorporate the logo of number 2 to the color palette of number 3.
And Maria is also saying, she's in the chat. Welcome, Maria. Good to see you here. It's awesome to have your client watching you right then and there while the design process. And she's saying we actually had our Arawayuu followers picking and voting in our last Instagram post. So she basically let her clients pick the logo, which is super amazing. I really like that. It's a great idea.
Yes, that's great. At the end of the day, they're your audience, so it's very important to listen to them. But okay, so right after, let's start with Instagram templates today, because I feel that we're gonna get more things there that we can later translate into cover images. So one thing that I do is I set up my document. It's a giant document with a bunch of things going on, but I create the boards, and these are 1,500 by 1,500 pixels, and I just create them side by side, because that's also going to help me see how they're all interacting together like they interact on the actual Instagram. So and then on the side of my document, I put on the guidelines. So I put on the logo and then a color palette. And again, because we haven't worked on the real color palette of this project, we do have the reference color palette, and I added a couple of possible secondary color palettes, but these are subject to change, because if we see that maybe it's not translating that well all together, if we need to change a bit of the hue, we can do that, but it's a starting point. And then the fonts, I'm gonna get them from the other document, and a couple of icons actually. And then
I like them. They're so nice.
and then I do I also do the handle, because sometimes it's good to include it on the posts. And it's
Daniel is saying,
actually their handle is just Arawayuu. Let me just double check.
Daniel is saying, new Adobe request decision wheel we can spin. Yeah, I actually did that recently on my YouTube channel. I had like a spinning wheel, and people suggested branding projects. And then we, based on this random decision, we had to work on the branding project live. So that was also fun.
I saw it. I saw that episode. It was amazing. You were so quick and coming up with something. Like, how is she doing this? Right away.
That was so
really
much
good.
fun. I actually just ordered a spinning wheel, but it came out to be really tiny. So I was like, maybe I'll order another one. Yeah, but that's a great idea to have some randomness.
Yeah. You know who has a good spinning wheel? IKEA. Because I had to use it for a project.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have all of our things inserted into there, except for the fonts, which I'm going to grab from our old document. And Maria also gave me some feedback on the fonts yesterday. She liked some of these especially, so I'm going to also select those. Let me look for the feedback, and I'll make sure that I incorporate at least one of them. So she liked this one, and this one especially. Okay. So
cool.
Perfect.
Honestly, I cannot find any typeface here that I wouldn't like at all. They're all really nice, so it's probably really difficult to make a decision of those.
Yes. And the good thing is that we're going to be creating stickers and gifts. So the ones that we don't use for the brand itself, we can use also for like little stickers or other assets that we can get creative with typography.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Okay. Let me also pull some of the photos that she sent me, just to have in here.
And Jihan is saying, I love the last live, Julia. Thank you so much, Jihan. I'm glad you liked it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with... Oh, another thing that I do, very important. I have a list right here next to the templates that I'm gonna be creating, and I put the categories of the things that she's gonna need. It's very important when working with a small business to really ask them what their needs are, because you can create some social media templates that you think they need, but maybe that's not really what they're going to be using. So super important, have some prior communication with your client and work on what they need. So she, in her case, she's going to need a new product post, a product review, an event announcement, a coupon, and like a 30% sale kind of thing, and then an artisan or brand ambassador story, and a repost thing. So those are the 6 that we have that we're going to be creating today.
Awesome.
So,
talking about typefaces, you guys in the chat, let us know what's your favorite typeface, or what's the typeface you use the most for your projects. That would be interesting to see. I think one of my favorite ones is Proxima Nova. We've been talking about that one yesterday as well.
That one's probably my favorite typeface too.
Yeah.
And now it's Painter Sans too, the one we use for the logo.
I used to love Bebas.
Bebas.
Yeah, it's like a very long typeface. And I used to use it for so many projects, but that was when I was just starting off as a designer.
Bebas.
Now
I can't remember which one it is. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
yeah.
I think I used. Oh, that's why I don't even remember it now, because I used it so much that I was like, okay, it's banned from my. I love it. Yeah, because we were probably. I'm sure we used a lot of the same fonts.
Quite just saying, yeah.
Oh, what was that? Sorry.
Quite just saying Montserrat is one that he's using. Monument Extended, Bebas Neue. Arani saying Bebas, yes. I used to use that a lot. Yeah, what else? Mrs. Eves, Laura is saying Quasimoda. Montserrat seems to be a very popular one. I saw it more than once. And Open Sans. Yes, Open Sans is great. I think it's also a web typeface, a web font, so you can use it for web design. Museo and Vervain, Julia is saying. Yeah, Museo, I think I've used that one before. Raghav is saying Futura, classic. Gotta love Futura, gotta love Helvetica, gotta love all the good classic ones. Syncopate, Raghav is suggesting. Syncopate. Never used that one before.
I've never heard of that one.
Never heard of that one either. Bruno is saying Futura is huge. Love it too. Yeah, I totally agree. Ryan is saying Herb is a dope display font. Okay. Herb. I'll need to check it out. I need to make myself some notes and check them out. Cool. PM is saying Amatic. Sarah likes Haldane. Wow, there's so many that I haven't heard before.
I know. There's so many fonts out there. Thank God. Which that's great to have options.
Yeah. Lust is also a great one. Lust script.
Dido. You gotta love
and Didot. Yeah, Didot.
Dido. I don't know.
I don't know. Is it D-dot, Didot? What do you guys think? Is it D-dot or Didot? I have no idea. Michelle is saying Jill Sands. I've used that one before many times. Cool. What's the typeface you're using for Instagram template? Benedict is asking.
That's a great question because I don't know. I don't know yet. We're going to be discovering it together.
Okay. Awesome. PM is saying cookies and milk is a typeface that he or she, I think it's a girl. She, are you a girl? Let us know. And she's saying, I just like the font name. Yeah, I think font names play a big role in decision making about the right font. MBA kind of saying Helvetica all the way. Yeah, Lust is great. I like that one. It's a nice typeface. Giovanna is saying Balham. Never heard of that one before. I would love to write all of those down. Yeah, Din, very classic, of course. Din is a typical designer typeface. I feel like everybody has used that before. Proxima Nova, yay!
Yes,
Proxima Nova is a lot in use for like web application design. So that's something I use in XD all the time. Proxima Nova.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah, guys, you should all make a list for yourself and then check all of those typefaces out. It's good to learn about new typefaces. I love it. Jane is saying Swiss. Okay. And Gotham is also classic. Yeah, that's for sure. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I think everybody can make themselves a list now.
Yes.
They can go through.
Yeah, that's so helpful.
Yeah. What are you doing right now, Lina?
Right now, I'm just checking the name of the product.
Oh, okay. I see. That's cool.
Just to be sure that I'm already including the correct one.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, this is nice. I like this.
Because sometimes when I do templates and I'm just like, oh, this name is perfect. Yeah. But then the real name, it's so much longer. So it's good to have it.
Nice. Lara is saying, I used to be really into moon, but I'm into square typefaces now. Square typefaces. You mean like sans serif?
Square like this one? This one looks
Oh,
square.
okay. All right. Okay, I see. Yeah,
I
I
don't
love
know.
that
I'm not
too.
sure
When the
that's...
letters are really wide. And then if you increase the spacing between the letters, also the
Yeah,
lettering.
that looks really good.
Looks
Let's
really
try
nice.
that. Actually, let's do that right now.
It also makes it better legible.
Yes, I love doing that.
I love increasing the spacing and then decreasing the size of the typeface. So it's kind of like smaller letters, but they're further apart.
Let's see.
J.M. Marcella is saying, thanks for doing this and sharing your work and process.
You're very welcome. I hope it's useful for you guys.
I think so. It's very useful, yeah.
And also, if you guys like have any questions or anything that you're curious about, ask us.
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions.
I'm talking for Julia too, but I'm sure that you'll be happy to answer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're here to learn from each other, right? And it's not only about how to use the software, how to design, but it's also about like the thinking as an entrepreneur, as a freelance designer, how to talk to clients and all that stuff. So I think it's all plays a very important role. And especially things that you don't learn in school. I think it's always great to learn from each other.
Yes, it's so helpful. And thank you guys. Thank you, Giovanna. Is there a chance to export the chat? That's true. That's a good question. Is there a chance to export the chat?
Just take some screenshots. How about that? Just take some screenshots and take out all the nice typefaces.
Yes, that's a good one. Okay. So it usually, like, I just go through a lot of these and like moving things around and seeing what's working, what's not, and it takes a while.
Yeah, that's what the design process is. It's you make decisions, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, actually design is nothing but decision making and problem solving, right?
Yes, that's true. We're the best problem solvers ever.
Yeah. And Karen is asking, how can the client edit the Instagram templates in the future? What type of file do you provide them?
I provide them.
That's a great question.
With the Illustrator file, because most of them do have the Adobe Suite. So I give them the Illustrator file. I will like break it down into things that can be moved, things that cannot be moved, and I just do like different layers for that and block the ones that are not meant to be moved, like the backgrounds, etc. And then wherever they need to change something, I would be like, change here, and I'll break it down. I can do one for you guys to see how I do it. But I've never done it, but the next thing that I want to start doing is incorporating it into Spark. Have you ever done something like that for a client, Julia?
I haven't. Usually when I provide them with templates, it's it can be, for example, something that I make in Acrobat, so they can change the text. For example, you can create templates with variable text, so they can just adjust the text. Or some of my clients also have designers, so I would just provide them with the Illustrator file or PDF file that they can modify later on. And sometimes what I would do is I would give them the single elements that they can also put together themselves. You know, like for example, those sun rays that you have there, I would maybe export that as a PNG or as a SVG to give them the vector for that. Or I also create libraries. So what you guys can also do is create a CC library and export it. And then your client has all the assets that you've created for them, and they can use those for their own designs, or the designers can use them.
Yes, that's great, because they have everything in there too. It's true.
Yeah, but not everybody is able to, open an Illustrator file and be like, hey, okay, let me change this up real quick.
Yes, no.
Especially when it comes to masks and all that stuff. I feel like
So that's one thing that I also like doing with my clients, especially when they're smaller clients. I like to do all the templates for them. After I deliver them, like a week after, we'll get it, or depending on if they're not able to, if they already know how to use it, I won't even go into this. But if not, we'll have a 30-minute session where I teach them how to do it. So maybe
It's cool.
I
like that approach.
I should just send them this episode.
It's a great approach of enabling the client to work for themselves, so they're not dependent on you. I feel like some designers, they create this dependency just to get work from their client on a regular basis. But I feel like it's great if I think the client feels more empowered and sees more value in your work if you are actually empowering them with helping them to do their own little things.
Yes, no, I agree. That's actually one of the values of my company. It's giving the tools to my clients to empower them and to especially like set them up for success on their own, because you never know what can happen to me. Or, it's like I don't like them to depend on me. I obviously love getting more work and having a continuous relationship, but also I know that some of the stuff they can do on their own, so it's good to have them like that. Okay, so there's a question here. For really small image sizes, do you have to export in JPEG or PNG? Do you have to be under 40 KB or something from the font? So what we can do, maybe we can go into exporting later on, and I can show you the
get to
process
that later
too of exporting.
Let's get to that maybe like by the end of the session. So we can go and step by step.
Perfect. Let's do that then. Hopefully we'll answer your question when we do that.
And Daniel is saying Adobe Live Training is so good we won't have jobs. Yeah, well, if you're empowering your clients, it doesn't mean that you won't have any job, because that client, if they feel empowered, if they feel like you gave them a good value for the money they paid, they're going to recommend you further. So they're going to bring you more clients and you're going to work on bigger projects. So I think that thinking is very important, that you really try to help them with your whole heart, not just thinking of how to get them back to you, and how to make them dependent. So
that's not here. She sent me. Okay.
All we want is provide value, right? That's what we want.
Yes, that's correct. I think that even with the most wonderful tutorials, there's also the talent of the designer. So I am not worried that people will stop like get us our jobs out because of these. So we'll be able to get jobs even if people know how to use the softwares. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, and I think also it's very important as a designer to constantly evolve, because there is new software coming and improving. There is new tools that you can use. Like, for example, for me, I always every year set myself goals to learn new software, to develop my skill set, so I can offer a wider range of service, and also that I can use software that maybe they want me to use, like 3D programs, or think about AR tools that are coming up. And there's new software like Arawayuu, for example, where you can design for AR. And I think it's really important to learn and keep on adding new tools. So even if the client knows how to use Illustrator, we can still give them some good value.
Yes, completely.
And it's also not only the technical part about using the software, it's also the design thinking process. Because we as designers, we have a certain mindset, a certain, a function in our brain that makes us solve problems maybe better than any client can. Because clients usually, if you are talking about small business, they're usually concentrating on the business part. So their brain is wired completely differently than ours. So I think we will always be able to have a job.
Yes, I'm not, I mean, let's hope for that, but I'm not scared.
I'm not scared at all.
I'm not
and
scared.
I think design is it was for me such a job of the future. But when I came to the US, it was so much more present than I have ever experienced before. And I was like, yes, I'm not going to be without a job ever, because it is a job of the future.
Yes, it's true. And it's so much more than just creating beautiful things. It's like I think the problem solving aspect of design is the part that no software is gonna allow you to do. If so, like no computer is gonna take that away. So I think that as long as you keep problem solving as a core of your business, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's my humble opinion.
Yeah, Anthony also has a question. Did you ever have to cancel on a client because of creative differences? And again, I feel like if I can answer this question real quick, maybe Lina can also get to her answer later. So I think creative differences is not something that should be present with your collaboration with the client, because in the end, what you want to be adaptable for the client's needs. So you're not creating for creative, for to be creative or to show your creativeness. You're creating something to solve a problem for the client. So if you can, if you have a good argumentation for your design decisions, then it's not only talking about creativity. It's more talking about, hey, I have this solution for you. What do you think about this solution? And it's all based, yes, of course you can translate the solution into visuals, but it's the thought process that matters the most. And the visuals are secondary, I would say. What do you think, Lina?
I completely agree. I completely agree with your answer. I think I've never had to. Obviously, it's always better when you have a client that aligns with your aesthetic and with everything that you're going through. And that's another thing that we can also talk about later, maybe, Julia, about how to make sure that the clients that you get align with yourself. But even when I've had clients that have differences in creative whatever, then I apply everything that you said. No, it's like, it's how you navigate that situation. And I think the problem with me would be clients that don't align in like a value level, and someone that's like that doesn't have my values. That's a little harder to deal with, because then you cannot change that, and you just have to be very patient. But in terms of creativity, I think you can always adapt.
I agree. Thanks for the question, though. It was a nice question, because I feel like it's something that everybody's asking themselves. I think it's this initial fear of, hey, what if the client doesn't like what I've created for them? But I feel like in the end, you should be able to give your decision to have a reasonable decision making for the client. So out of their perspective. So let's say Lina picks a certain color palette, but she has her reasons why she picked that. It's not because she thought, oh, those colors look so nice together, but because her thought process was, oh, let's use some earthy tones because they remind me of this festival feeling, and these colors these colors that have a little bit earthiness in them. So those are the reasons of decision making that you have to provide to your client.
Yes, I agree. Backing up your designs it's also really helps at the time of presenting to go over extra rounds or making sure that the client understands that it's so important. I love Katie. I blew her mind with the zigzag. I know the first time that I saw it, my mind was blown too. And you can also, and I'll show you how to do like beautiful curved zigzags too. We'll apply that into another one.
Nice. And now you're rounding up the edges a little bit, or you're just modifying it a little bit?
Modifying it so it doesn't look that perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because natural things are never perfect, right?
Exactly. So I want to give it a more raw look.
And that's also one of the values that this company is carrying, is that it's handmade, right?
Yes, totally.
So that's why handmade things are never perfect. There's always like little details that still look very natural. So
I'm going to change these. Okay, so I'm just going to make this shorter for this purpose.
Satomi is asking if the Bay Area is too competitive for graphic designers to survive. Do you have clients from all over the world? I have lived in the Bay Area for like 2 years, and I have to say it is competitive. There is a lot of great, amazing designers, and I feel like in the whole California and also in New York and out in the bigger cities, I would say the design scene is very competitive because, there is a lot of businesses and the designers move to where there is a lot of work, a lot of businesses, a lot of agencies. So yes, it was pretty competitive, but on the other hand, there was also a lot of work. So you get a lot of clients, but you also have a lot of designers to choose from. So I feel like, I don't know if I can call it competitive. If you're a good designer, then you're going to get a lot of work.
Everywhere you are.
Everywhere you are, yeah. And of course, you can work internationally as well. I have worked with German clients as well when I just moved to the US. I still had my German clients that I used to communicate. Of course, this communication is kind of difficult because there is a big time difference, different time zones. So they rather pick someone who is right there, and maybe they can meet in person. Yeah, so that those connections for me kind of faded away slowly. And also I was working with kind of more US standards. So yeah, I like my US clients.
I've never worked in the Bay Area because I'm not from there, but LA, I can talk about LA. LA, I think it's the same thing. It's very, it is competitive. There's a lot of designers, a lot of design firms, a lot of like people in general. but because of that, there's also a lot of new businesses that are arising and that need your services. So, but in terms of working internationally, lately I've been working a lot internationally. I have clients in Canada, Australia, which then you get into the different time zone. But yeah, I think, it's very important to keep like good communication via email, because that's like so crucial.
And now since we're using the virtual communication tools even more since the quarantine, and we kind of had to find new solutions how to communicate with our clients, right? So I feel like now this will be a more popular tool to communicate than email, for example.
Yes, totally. And it's great. It's not great. I don't like to say to use those words to refer to quarantine, but it's good to also see the silver lining that comes with all of these, and the way that people are adapting in many ways, not only how they use technology, but how they interact with other people, and like the priorities that they have. And at least for me, I realized that this quarantine has made me, has helped me to be more with my family, more present, and understand that really like work is very important, but that there are other priorities. And I think that's amazing too. That's a good thing that can come from a bad thing.
Yeah, totally. And we have Tim Mobus in the chat. Happy birthday, Tim! Woo!
Happy birthday!
We send you warm hugs from the US to Germany, and wish you a happy birthday. Yay. Everybody write happy birthday, Tim. All right, by the way, guys, in 43 minutes, we are going to be reviewing your daily creative challenge submissions. Make sure to submit them to the Illustrator Discord into the hashtag challenge, and that's where we're going to be reviewing them. So looking forward to that.
Yes. Today's patterns, right?
Yes. So excited for the patterns. And of course, you can also submit yesterday's challenge. No problem at all.
Let's see. I'm just going to change this whole thing because I don't like it. So that also happens a lot in design. You work on something for a while and then you're like, nah, this is not working.
Yeah. Oh, so. Nice. You guys are the best. We have so many happy birthday greetings right here. Yay. So cool. Awesome. I think these are looking so great. And because you're using the same typefaces and similar colors, you're sticking to your color palette, of course, it kind of looks like it all belongs together. And I think it's great. It's coming out amazing.
Let's review. I don't know if she needs a headline.
Arawayuu, Maria is saying, we wish you a pineapple-licious birthday. Stay safe.
That's
awesome. Cute. I'm getting hungry now. I want some pineapples.
What's your favorite fruit, Julia?
My favorite fruit, I like strawberries. I like berries a lot because they have a lot of antioxidants. And it's good for your skin. It's good for your body because it kind of balances out all the unhealthy things that you are eating. Let's think about it. In the summers, I love watermelon. It's so refreshing. I love it. I love pineapple as well. I just can't eat that much of it because my tongue starts burning a little bit. But I love pineapple. Don't judge me. I love pineapple on pizza.
Me too.
I love making my own pizzas, by the way. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Oh. It's actually so easy.
Yeah, do you make it from scratch? Like 100%?
Yeah,
the
with
dough
Italian
and
dough.
everything?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Goals.
Yeah. Vuduval is asking, Julia and Lina, who are your favorite designers?
My favorite designers. Damn. Who are my favorite designers? I have so many people that I look up to. I will actually do a list of them and the resources tomorrow. Well, tonight.
Yeah. Okay,
and we can. Cool. What about you? Do you want to include yours in my list?
I love the studio Zachmeister and Walsh. So Jessica Walsh and Stefan Zachmeister.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I think they're doing great visual work, like visual, like photography, and then they're manipulating the photography. And I think it's really, really great work that they're doing. Amazing branding work. And since Jessica Walsh now created her own studio, I really like their work a lot. So I think she's just amazing. And she's also doing a lot of things for the society, for the women. She has an organization called Ladies Wine and Design, where women kind of have events together and learn from each other, get inspired. and those have chapters in almost every city all over the world. So I think this is amazing, a very amazing organization. Make sure to check that out if you guys are interested, or if you girls are interested. On Instagram, it's called Ladies Wine Design, and there's chapters literally everywhere. So Daniel is saying my favorite designers are Cordero and Julia, obviously. Well, thank you, thank you. Well, there is a bunch of designers that I really like that are also lettering artists. Um, and I love home sweet home.
Oh, she
You
is
guys are following
amazing.
her.
Yeah.
She's really sweet, and she's just also giving people this inspiration, and she's also inspiring me to share my knowledge and to help people make money. So I think she's a really great inspiring artist. There's so many people I follow on Instagram that are really great designers, and they're doing so many things for the community. I also love the work of IDEO.org. They have an organization part from IDEO where they're doing social work. So I think that's also very important, to create something useful for people who are in need. So they're solving like community problems with product design. So I think that's amazing. I really love social design. I was so into it. I even did my own project when I was in India. We created like a homeless shelter for the homeless people, and it was completely crowdfunded. So this is like the stuff that really inspires me to create something that has social context and that helps people. So yeah, cool. We're getting into Netflix shows now. Arani is saying Chris Do is good. Yeah, Chris Do is amazing. I love him. He's a good. I like his way of thinking and his design mind, I would say, and also he's an entrepreneur. So that's also very inspiring. I feel if you're like a self-taught entrepreneur spirit that shares their knowledge with other people. So that's I think really cool. Arani is also saying Paula Scher from Netflix Abstract. Yeah, I think Netflix Abstract is also a great series to get inspired from other artists.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. Gianna is saying Plus X Studio are awesome as well. Also, Julia Masalska and Chris Dell. Thank you so much. Oh, that warms my heart.
That's so cute.
Cool. JM Marcella is saying Abstract was great. I hope they continue making episodes. I hope that too. That would be amazing. There's also so many amazing podcasts that you can listen to learn about design. Do you have any, Lina, that you like?
About design specifically? No, not really. I listen more at like entrepreneurship or like business podcasts than I do design. Which one's your favorite?
There's different ones on. I have to actually to look up.
Yes, I have a couple that I've listened to that I really enjoyed, but I don't do it all the time because I'm like designing all day. So when I get to listen to something, sometimes I don't listen to design.
Actually, guys, if you want to listen to me on a podcast, there is an episode from the Quickie for Designers. It's a podcast series by my good friend. He also interviewed people like Aaron Draplin. So make sure to check that out. It's called The Quickie. It looks like this. Hope you guys can see this. There is a lot of amazing episodes, and I really like how he's asking the same questions, but to different designers, and they all have all of their different answers, and it's amazing. And I'm there too. I don't remember which episode I am. Yeah, but it's a good one. It's a good one. And he's such a humble guy. He's really humble, but he has all these great people there that are like amazing, very famous. And I think he has Paula Scher there as well.
I think so, because I think I listened to it when you posted your episode.
Yeah.
I continued listening to some, and he has Paula in there.
Yeah.
Design Matters by Debbie Milton.
Oh yeah,
that one is a
Design
really
Matters.
good one.
I've listened to that one as well. Here, I'm episode 158. I don't know if you can see this from here, but I'm episode 158, and yeah, I'm on there too. So cool. It was actually my first recording for a podcast.
Oh, sorry, I'm seeing Arabella is there. So good to see you there. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey Arabella, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Oh, thanks Wuduval. She just posted the link to the Quickie podcast.
Yay!
Yay! Ana Rosa is asking 2 questions. How do you choose the color shades, and when you're combining and mixing colors, do you check WCAG 2.0 compliance? I don't know what that is, to be honest.
The what compliance to
WCAG 2.0 compliance. I'm not sure what that is.
Could you explain us what that is?
Yeah, Ana Rosa, let us know what's...
Yes,
maybe it's some certain color code, kind of like Pantone. Maybe it's something for the print that has to be compliant to the tones that you're choosing. But how do you choose the color shades?
The color shades. So right now, this is why I'm like struggling a little bit, because I haven't gone through like a color palette just yet. So the colors are not necessarily great together. So usually when I get to this point, I already have the colors, but I just go through a lot of back and forth and using and seeing how they match, and then changing the colors. Right now I'm not changing any of them, but I might start doing that when I get a little bit deeper into this. Right now what I'm just trying is to do like some layouts that might work, and then we can go a little bit more into color as well.
Awesome. Cool. Anna is saying hello, Lina and Julia. Hi Anna, good to see you.
Web content accessibility.
What I do about color shades, since we're talking about this, so I would just, for example, if you have this light mint background color, I would just select that color, copy paste it, and then maybe go into the color settings where you can pick the color and just pick a darker shade from there, just going like across the line, diagonal down the center basically. So that's for me that's the best way. For me that's the best way to pick, just because those colors will have a certain relationship together, because one is the darker shade of the other and they kind of have the similar tone. So yeah, this is my way how I
that helps a lot too. I do that to, like this one that we have here. That's how I found it when we had that one, because yesterday we just had this one and this is a new one, so that's also for me the best way.
All right, and if we can quickly jump onto my screen so I can share with you guys, there's something that's called a site that's called color.adobe.com. It's where you basically can change. Hopefully we can switch to my screen real quick. Otherwise Lina will have to show it to you guys. So there you basically can pick the colors from a color wheel. And you can also select colors from an artwork that's already existing. So you just import the image and yeah. Lina, do you want to jump into it real quick?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
It's color.adobe.com. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think it's a really great tool. Yeah. And so there you can actually pick the colors, and there is this color wheel. You have different ways to select the colors. So you have complementary colors, double split. You have a lot of options. And then if you go onto next to where it says color wheel on the top left, you can say extract theme. And there you can import artwork, drag and drop any image, and it will extract the colors from this image.
Let's do it so they can see.
Yeah, let's do it. That would be awesome. Yeah, there we go. And we already have a color palette. And then on the right side, you can also save it to your CC libraries. If you go onto, yeah, exactly. You can pick the library, whatever library you want to use. Usually I create a library before I start the branding project, so I can kind of put everything in it. And then if you just save it, you can already use it in your Illustrator. Yay!
And now we go to Illustrator.
And now if you go to your libraries, and if you pick the library where you put it in?
Not that one. Which one was the one we put it in? I should have named it.
It's okay, you guys get the drill.
Okay, you get the idea.
You get the
Next
idea.
time we'll name the library.
Yeah. And that's really cool, just because then you can just take the client's images that they already have and just extract the colors, and maybe you can play with that, So that's also amazing. But of course, you can also just use the eyedropper tool here in Illustrator and pick the colors there as well. Yeah.
So I put in the new color that we created in here, the green.
Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. I like that. I like that natural grass green color.
I like it a lot too.
Nice.
I like it a lot too. So,
we have above 1,000 viewers today. Wow! Thanks everybody in the chat, or everybody who joined us. So amazing that you guys are all here. Let us know where you guys just joined from. If you just joined us, let us know where you're from. Daniel is saying, always name your library my library.
Yes,
yeah,
Daniel.
It's my library.
Right? That's me. you now you know my secrets.
Yeah. Daniel is also saying you can also check your work in grayscale to see the tones. Yeah, I usually never do that. I sometimes use the grayscale for when I'm retouching pictures, so I can see the lightness of a photo. But but that's definitely a more professional approach to finding similar shades or similar tones. And Gia and Marcella is also asking, have either of you participated in 36 Days of Type? Yes, I have this year. Actually, I have, but for me, it was too crowded on my Instagram to post every single letter. So I started doing A, B, C, D, E, I believe. And then I was like, I don't want to fill my whole feed with just letters. So I just kept some that I really liked. I believe I just kept only one letter that I really liked. And but yeah, I definitely think it's a great exercise for you guys. And if you want to post only artworks, or if you have some specific technique you want to experiment with, it's a great opportunity. And it's only once a year, I believe. So many people are waiting for that. And this year they even added the ampersand, which I think is really great. There were some amazing ampersands there.
Yes, I saw some really good ones.
Awesome.
I have not participated in it yet. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Nancy's joining us from Indianapolis. Cool. Welcome. Good to see you here. And Mohammed is here from Morocco. Wow. Completely different parts of the world. This is amazing. And Ashi, good to see you also. Ashi's saying hi. And Arim is saying hey. Cool. And Judelis is saying that the shade of green reminds of the mood board number 2 from yesterday.
Yes, that's good. We can start incorporating things from mood board number 2 in case she decides to go back to that one. Let's see.
Awesome.
Okay, so let me see. How are we on time, Julia?
Yeah, we have 25 minutes until our design feedback, where we give you guys feedback for the daily creative challenges.
Okay, so let me do just...
Lina, do you want to maximize your window? I think you have a little slit over there.
There you go.
We don't want nobody to read your file names from your secret files. Cool. Dmitry is here from Moscow. Привет. I'm from Ukraine,
Argentina.
so. But we only speak English in the chat, please, guys. I love to speak in different languages, but in the end, we all have to understand each other. So
you speak so many languages too, Julia.
And you probably too. You have what do you speak? You have Colombian.
I speak Spanish, English, French, and a little bit of Italian.
Oh wow! See, wow.
But that's it. But you
Italian.
You speak English?
Yeah, I speak
Russian, German.
Well, I speak Russian and Ukrainian. Ukrainian is not a language that I've ever used a lot, but it's a different language. It sounds completely different than Russian. And many people think it's the same language, but really it isn't. It just looks similar because they have the same alphabet, but really when a Russian goes to Ukraine, he will not understand anything. So yeah, Russian, Ukrainian, then I've learned Spanish in school, and I've used it a lot in my home.
in your
yeah,
home,
with my Colombian husband. And I also speak, what do I speak? German, because I spent 18 years in Germany. I went to school there and everything. So yeah, I do speak German and English. So yeah, it's like 4.5, 5, something like that.
That's a lot. That is a lot. Someone is asking me to speak French. Oh no. Okay, what do you want me to say?
I only know je m'appelle Julia.
Moi, je m'appelle Lina. Je suis de Costa Rica. Je suis allée au lycée français pendant toute ma vie. Alors, je parle un peu français, mais ça fait longtemps que je ne parle pas. Alors,
yeah, that's it. Anything.
That's all I can say. No, I'm kidding.
I just remember recently seeing this video where they're playing with Google Translator, and they're translating a certain French language, and it only sounds like num 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 num. That was so hilarious.
I love French. It's so beautiful. I wish I got to speak it more, but I haven't lately.
And Ricardo is saying he's a Colombian in Chicago.
Yay!
Awesome. I love Chicago. It's an amazing city.
I love Colombia. It's beautiful. What a beautiful country.
Lisa is saying you barely have an accent in French. Where did you learn French?
Merci. In school. During my whole life, I went to a French high school.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been, I mean, it was like 17 years of my life, pretty much. Or yeah, not 17, but 17 minus 3.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really love that. I've learned Spanish in school, but I only had it for like 4 or 5 years, I believe. It only started in the higher grades. Believe like in the 7th or 8th or something. I started learning Spanish. I always loved Spanish. And then
I've never heard you speak Spanish. Now it's your turn to say a phrase in Spanish.
Hola, me llamo Julia. Yo vivo en Denver.
Oh, you're so cute. You have like a Spanish from Spain accent.
Yeah. Lina, what are you doing there? I want to know what you're doing right now.
Now I'm just doing some patterns to so they have these if they want to repost anything. It comes really handy too if they want to do like a Twitter repost or things like that. Let me show you really quick. This was for another brand that I'm working on, but
this is a vectorized phone, right?
That's a vectorized phone.
It looks great. It looks amazing.
I thank you. I did not make it, but thank you.
It looks awesome. Yeah, I provided you guys that were participating in the daily creative challenges. I believe last week on Wednesday. I think on Wednesday, I provided you guys with a mock-up of a phone, which was also vectorized, but it was very much a simplified version of this. So I remember myself building it. Yeah, it's not easy.
I got it, and it's actually in the resources that I shared on the page at FreePic. I think it's coming from FreePic. They have some good vectors. that you can use.
Wuduval is asking, is this your go-to method for patterns, or do you do it other ways too?
No, I also use the pattern tool. But when it's gonna be something small that I know that I'm probably not going to reuse, and it's just in like that square, I do it like this because it's it's faster for me.
Wow, we already have like 9 assets here for the social media, right? Or 10, or even more. Wow.
Yes,
fast,
we have.
Lina.
Well, these ones don't count because I'm not digging these, so
okay.
we'll change them later.
Okay.
But yes, it goes fast to experiment with color, and it's good because you give your clients so many options. But like,
sounds good.
So I like doing that. I like doing one in one color and then trying it out in different colors. So
awesome. Rochi is saying, is this for social media, Lina? Yes, I believe so, right, Lina?
Yes, this is for social media. Right now we're working on Instagram templates.
Yeah, and then the client can basically just adjust the text or adjust whatever post goes inside this little window and export it and use it for their social media.
Yes, exactly. And talking about export, Glenna is asking about it. So I
was just about to say
into it too. Yeah, we haven't gone through it, so you did not miss it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you did not miss the answer
about
yet. Yeah. And we have 18 minutes until the design feedback. So make sure to submit your artwork for the Daily Creative Challenge to the Discord channel with the hashtag challenge. This is where we are going to be reviewing some of your work.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
And we're doing patterns today, right?
Yes. So we are doing similar things like you're doing right now in the background of the previous ones. Oh, I like that. This is really cool.
Let's see what else we need. Oh, okay. So
maybe if you want, you can close your libraries. I don't think we need them anymore.
Yes, thank you.
They're taking up so much
Thanks
space.
for letting me know.
Yeah, a big library. Cool. And now you're just dragging some imagery in here.
Yes, I'm just going to use this because one of the things that she has there, maybe this photo is not going to be the best because there's not a lot of head.
Yeah, you need some room around it, right? So you can fit it into the shape. Awesome. Are you going to show us real quick how to make a mask?
Yes.
Just for people who are new to Illustrator.
Yes. And masks, I think this is like one of the features that I use the most. So the way that you make a mask is you make sure that the object that's going to be the final shape is on top. So I'm going to send this to the back. And then you select both the back object and the top object and Command 7. And then
Command 7?
Yes. Command 7, right? Yeah.
Or if you select both objects, you can also go on the properties panel, and there you will have the option to make a clipping mask.
Yes. Which would be, well, we'll do.
If you go onto window,
let me do a quick shape here so we show it with her. And I'll just.
You should have the properties on your right side somewhere. If you select both of them. Oh, okay.
So I selected both of them.
And then, do you have properties on your right panel? I just can't see it. Otherwise, you go to window.
No.
And then properties. Just click on down there, properties. Yeah, right there. And then you get this properties panel. And the cool thing about the properties panel is that whatever object you pick, you will always get the options just for that object. I think you have to scroll down a little bit.
Here,
there is an option for make clipping mask.
Oh my god, I've never used it from the properties panel.
This is amazing
because great. Thank you, Julia.
Yeah, and if you click on a text object, it shows you options for the text. So color, whatever.
Wow. Stroke. Oh my god. I learned so much from the Adobe lives that I do with my hosts.
Yeah,
So happy.
usually when I'm working in Illustrator, I only use the properties panel, and then I use my libraries, and then maybe 1 or 2 tabs, but I usually don't use any other tools except for that. I mean, obviously the tools are included in the properties panel, but it's just very comfortable because it shows you all the options for that specific object.
Yes, that's great. No, I love it. I'm gonna start using it more.
Yeah,
See, thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
of course.
So she has this thing that is, so the way that she calls her community is Arawayuu babe. So I'm going to use that too in here.
And Rochi is giving a really great great name for this style that you're having, calling it boho gypsy vintage style.
Love it.
Yeah, and Daniel's also saying you can use Spark to add animations and other fun things to the graphics. Totally agree. Gotta play with Spark. And Jorgen is asking, get any tips for getting creative ideas? I often feel that it's difficult to come up with ideas. Do you have any tips, Lina?
Any tips?
Or when you have a creative block or something?
When I have a creative block, I think, well, looking at other art out there, whether it is in the design form or whatever it is, just like book. Well, right now we don't have the opportunity of going to a library and checking out books, or of going to a grocery store and checking out packaging. But on the internet, there's a lot of things that you can draw inspiration from. Because at this point, I think this is our only point of inspiration, or going out for a quick walk in nature and looking at things. But yeah, seeing people's work helps a lot, and seeing just like overall art. What about you, Julia?
What other like the platforms that you use for that?
Well, Pinterest is a big one. Behance, of course. Behance, Pinterest, and then depending on the project that I'm working on, there are some really good websites that feature specific things. Like some of them just feature great websites, some of them just feature like packaging. So that's really good because you can see like the best of the best and like the most.
Yeah, there is one that's called awards.com that I really like for website inspiration. It's awards with 3 W's in it, so it's really good. I like it. And you can also really sort the different topics, the different themes that the websites have. Oh, what are you doing? How did you do this?
How did you do? Okay, so I'm just putting a little effect on these. I'm gonna use the warp tool. So I go to effect, warp, and then I like using the flag a lot.
Ah, okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's fun.
I think it does like go with this style.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's really good. So let me just see what this is.
Michelle, thanks for sharing the link, awards.com.
Yeah. Yes, that's a great one
And PM is saying sometimes it's really good to just breathe some fresh air. Totally agree.
Yes, I agree too. That's just close your computer and go do something else.
Yeah, for sure. Judith is asking, can you give some ideas of fictional projects for beginners to practice on branding? Let the chat do the work, guys. Suggest Judith some branding projects to work on for fictional projects.
Yeah, but I'm gonna jump into that question and tell you something that's been really good for me, Judelis, is just think about what you really want to work on and what you want to be doing for the rest of your life. Because that's really doing a fictional project is a time for you to really just be 100% creative and have fun with it. And that usually reflects on the work. So it ends up being one of your best work. And if you take that opportunity to really focus on what you want to do in the long term, let's say, for example, in my case, I really like working with women, like female related projects, and I really used to like working in event design as well. So when I did my Adobe Live last time, I focused it on I decided to do a fictional project. So I did it for an event, for a conference that was focused on female empowerment. So I combined both an industry that I want to work in and like a topic, and then I get the aesthetic that I want and everything, because it's going to be a fictional project. So you're putting in whatever you like. There's no client to tell you anything. And then some good work comes out of that it's already pointing you into the right kind of clients, because now you can go to a client that's your prospective client, or someone that you hope you would work with, and just present them that project. And if it relates to the industry, it's even better. So that's my take on fictional projects.
Awesome. And Judelis, as you can see, we have a lot of suggestion here. So take notes, get the ideas from the others. And yeah, let's see, maybe there's something there that you would be interested in working in. Thanks, guys, in the chat. It's amazing. You guys have such great ideas. Awesome. Yeah, for me, it's the same thing. When I was working on fictional projects, I was trying to concentrate on things that I really want to work on. Mostly it has something packaging related, and I love the cosmetics industry. I love the food industry. So, and anything that has to do with beverages as well. So that's like my favorite type of, projects. And also because I want to work with clients like that, as Lina said. Yeah.
Yes, that's really important, I think. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time, right? Until
we have 7.5 minutes to design feedback, and then we have another about 10-15 minutes after that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go really quick onto cover images and how I tackle those usually. The first thing that I do, I find the new dimensions. These dimensions are changing like yearly now, or even monthly sometimes, because they change their interface. But what I do is I just do a square with the dimensions, and I usually take an image, because if you just Google really quick Facebook banner size or something, it will get out like you can see some of these, and you can just transfer those to your artboard and like measure. So I already did that, and what I do is, where the avatar is, I just put something on top, so I know that space is it's gonna be
visible.
Covered. It's not visible.
Exactly. So, and that's a great point, because then you can adjust your design accordingly. So there is no important text, located right behind the avatar image, right?
Exactly. Yes, that's super, super important to know. So after that, what I do, I just design on. So I do the placeholder layer and lock it, and then I have the design. I design on that layer. And let's do something just really quick, because we don't have a lot of time. And
I think before when somebody's asking for the typeface for Instagram templates, they actually meant the typeface that you use for your own brand, where it's above the artwork, where it says Instagram templates. I think that was the one.
Yes, this is the one that I use for my brand. It's called Recoleta.
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 It's really called Recoleta, but some people call it Recoleta.
Yeah. Recoleta.
I'm kidding.
Awesome.
Okay, so
And Julius is saying, thank you so much, everyone. Well, you're welcome. That's all it takes. Just ask. And you can also join the Discord community. There's also ask a question or tips and tricks, career advice. There's different things you can, ask if you need any tips. So yeah, it's not only for design feedback.
Yes. So, okay, this is not gonna be it. We're gonna rework it later, but just to have an idea here. She has...
Rochi is saying, aguante Recoleta. I don't know what that means, actually.
Because Recoleta is barrio, how do you say, neighborhood in Argentina,
okay.
in Buenos Aires. So
wow, okay, I had no idea.
And that's where the font type comes.
Awesome, that's name. What Agustina just said. Recoleta.
Yes.
Is a neighborhood in Buenos Aires in Argentina.
Yeah, yes, cool. It's a beautiful neighborhood, really close to my husband's family house.
Nice. Yeah, I'm always happy to learn things like that. I love those, cultural, traditional things, like sayings and things that are very specific for a location. Agustina is also saying reconcheta.
Yes, that too. Concheta is like, how do you say in English? Damn, I can't speak English today. Like people that have a lot of money and are like...
Oh, okay. So the opposite, basically, of the hood.
Exactly. And that is a very wealthy neighborhood in Buenos Aires. So...
Oh, awesome.
She mixed the two words.
Yeah. And JH is asking, where can we get those fonts? Where do you get your typefaces from?
The ones...
Generally,
everywhere. I will add that to the link.
Resources.
Posh, yeah, that's the word.
Okay, I see.
So for the fonts that I'm using right now, this one I got, and I have it on the links from yesterday's episode. It's called Painters something, and I have it there on my website / Adobe Live. Mm-hmm. This other one, it's called Nazaré, and this one is actually from Adobe Fonts. So yesterday we went over how to upload those into your software. You guys can go back and see it. It's really easy, just a simple click.
Yeah, by the way, for all of you guys who haven't joined yesterday, you can see down below the video. If you're on desktop right now, you can just scroll down and you will see past replays of past sessions. So if you want, you can watch yesterday's session, how Lina started working on this brand. And there we are also talking about where to get typefaces from and how to activate them and so on.
Yes. So I'm just going to do a quick export so you guys see the way that I export things. I don't know, Julia, if you have a different way. But when I'm doing things for screens, I just go to export for screens. And then you select the artboards that you actually want to export. Let's say I'm gonna export these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do the same thing. If I'm exporting something that's for has to be viewed on the screen, yeah, I'm definitely going to export on the screens, just because it creates just the optimized file size for quick loading. And especially if you put something on your website, you want to avoid for images to load for a long time. So export for screens is really a great option for that as well.
Yes, so I select the folder where this is gonna live, and
then we only have 30 seconds left, Lina. So okay. Hurry up.
So you just select resolution, and I still like to save it at 150 because sometimes 72 comes out a little blurry.
Same here, just to make sure.
Export artboard, and then
you have all the artboards in a folder, right?
And then you get a folder with all of the artboards.
Awesome. Cool. There we go. Wow.
And if you name your artboards, then
you also get the artwork name there.
You get the artwork name. That's the ideal way of doing it.
Yeah, it's looking great, Lina. All right, let's take a look at you guys' challenge submissions real quick. Let me quickly go like that. And I'm going to scroll all the way down, and we're going to start from the bottom to the top. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at you guys' artwork. So these colorful pineapples here are from Luna, challenge number 3. Wow, I think it's a great pattern.
Very appropriate.
It's a great pattern, and also very appropriate to our today's branding work that Lina has been doing. I love the combination of this diamond and the pineapple. I think it's kind of interesting because it has kind of shapes that a pineapple contains as well, but not really. So I think it's a great, way to combine things. What do you think, Lina?
I love it, and I love the shape of the pineapple too. It's a little like it's different from the normal pineapple that you see. That's a little more rounded. So I really like that addition.
Yeah, and cool. I think the pattern came out great. I'm not sure what exactly the square was where you put so I see there is like some space that is a little bit empty, like for example this one over here, this one over here. So maybe you can try rearrange the pineapples. I would even play with pineapples, the diamond pineapples being a little bit tilted, so maybe that will help you fill up the space a little bit better, so there is no like spots where there's nothing there. But otherwise I think it's great. It came out really nice. I can see this even as a fabric. I always when I think of patterns, I always think of fabric and how that would look like on a t-shirt or something. So I would need that pattern on my t-shirt right now. That would be great.
Yes, you can partner with Arawayuu. And
oh yeah, this is actually the pattern square that that Luna created. Awesome. I think it looks great. It looks great. Great job, Luna. I would love to see this on the mock-up, like how it looks as a pattern. It would be so amazing. But that's just me. All right, let's move on. But with half feet. Oh, I think this is yesterday's challenge with, or maybe even the challenge number 1 where you have to create a sticker. So this one came out really great. I love the shapes of the leaves, and I think you left just enough space around this sticker to be able to be printed. So great job here. What do you think, Lina?
Yes, it looks good. The only thing I would maybe lower down the cacti a tiny bit, so it's a little more down on the circle, because right now there's like the space. Yes, right there, the space underneath, it's a little bigger, and my eye is going to that space instead of going to the sticker.
I see. So you would lower the
but
box.
A tiny bit, like
just a tiny
really
bit,
like 3 touches on your keyboard.
3 clicks, just click.
Exactly. Very tiny.
I remember there was a session with Andrew Hawkrattle where he was also working with clicks. Okay, 5 clicks, click. Was it Andrew? I'm not sure anymore. But like somebody was working with the amount of clicks to measure the space. I think that's hilarious. Yeah, that's a great job. It came out really nice, Hafid. Good, well done. Ooh, I like this. This is so nice. I like the colors here. The colors work so well together. I also love a pattern with some logos inside, so that's amazing too. I like this. It could be a brand name. It could be some made-up brand name.
Yeah, I love it. I really like the colors, and the shapes are very soft, and they just want to be there.
Yeah, they work together very well.
Yeah,
they work together very well. And also that you added this tilted version of the cactus, it kind of gives your eye a way to follow, so you never end up stopping. Your eye always finds something new to look at. And that's something that we psychologically kind of perceive, because things that are pointing onto something else make us look at this thing that it's pointing to. So that can create an amazing hierarchy, and can can help guide the eye. Awesome. Well done, Jihan Cook. Cool. Oh, this one is nice. This one contains like icons for traveling, I believe. This reminds me of traveling. What do you think, Lina?
Yes, it's very sad because we can't travel right now.
I know.
But very nostalgic.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sure.
I like it. I like it. It's very clean, and I could see it on like American Airlines pattern for their cups or something.
Yeah. Or even their restaurant or something.
Yeah.
Or like a wallpaper in a restaurant in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like this. Good job, Ed Loper. All right, next one up is Kwahish. Oh, this reminds me of faces, of mouths and ears and maybe eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Lina?
Really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. It reminds me, to this one sculpture that I love it. Really cute.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really abstract, but you always, in abstract things, you end up always finding something that looks familiar to you. So it's great. It's great that you played with that. I also like that you did not only use one color, but two colors for these different type of lips. I could see this as a wallpaper for sure. Yeah, looks amazing.
Really cute, yeah.
Great job, Kwahish. Ooh, Kwahish also posted a nice brand guideline.
Oh,
cool. All right, let's get into this real quick. This can get really complex, but oh yeah, using Montserrat here. People were talking about Montserrat. I love these swatches here that you've created. This looks amazing. Color palette, contents, about us. It seems to be like a template or something. Contents. Word mark, use and misuse, my favorite. I love it. Great job. Well done. Well done here also with this semi-transparent blue. Great job. It came out amazing. I would love to see this in the Behance project. Kwahish. All right, and this one from Z, I think is from yesterday. Using shadows. I think this came out great. I would just maybe try to get a connection between the shadow and the actual letter, color-wise, because right now you're using, I believe, purple for the shadow and red for the letters. But since the red is so cut off, it seems to be a little bit difficult to read for me right now, and maybe I would try to get a relationship between this the foreground and the background. I mean, the shadow and the actual letter. What do you think, Lina? What would improve it?
I agree, because definitely, especially now that I have my screen small, I have trouble reading what it says. So definitely working on legibility there a little bit. Yeah,
I agree. And you can work on the legibility by just giving a connection between this part right here and this part. So maybe using the similar color here, maybe for the stripes use a red. That I think that would already help a lot. Amazing, Z. Thanks so much for your submission. Ooh, this is a fun pattern.
Using your blobs.
It's by Julie. Awesome.
Really cute.
I really like the combination here of these blobs and these more sharp and geometric shapes. I think it's really great, and also these little pieces of texture that have been added to kind of fill up the white space and to create a whole image, and to not have spots where you're missing the pattern or where it seems to be a little empty. So I think this is really, really great job. I would love to see it as a wallpaper, but I can also imagine it as a brand pattern that a brand uses to, you know, to use it for their brand, for cover images and so on. What do you think, Lina?
Yeah, I especially like the line quality of that blob that has many, the one that looks like a tree, you know, when you cut a tree. That one. I really like that line quality, and I'm wondering if maybe there's a way of connecting that same line quality to the zigzag element. I think that will even make it better and pull it together a little more, because
I agree. I feel like right now the zigzags are very dominant, so maybe I don't know, I would stick with maybe 2 to 3 colors here. So I think this green and this peach color, they work very well together, but then there is this yellow and this black contrast that's coming up, that's very much like a contrast to it. So yeah, I definitely agree. I would maybe try to work with something similar for the zigzag here as the style, and not to make it too perfect, you know, kind of make it a little bit kind of like the zigzags Lina was making today. Tilting them, and
yes, and maybe getting rid of that yellow, then it will tie everything together.
I agree.
But it's really nice.
Julie, nonetheless, well done. This has been
amazing.
Very great work. Oh, and here's the large size version of Ed Loper with the icons. Oh, wait a second. Was it the same person? I'm not sure about that. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, Ed Loper. Yeah, so this is how I imagine the wallpaper of this, actually.
Yeah.
It would be great to see it in the mock-up in like a lounge or something with the chairs and lamps. I could totally imagine it in some airport lounge.
I imagine it like blue, like matte blue with a glossy blue on top. That would look
cool. Yes, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Awesome. And this one is by Anthony. Oh, I like this. I like this background. It looks kind of interesting. Yeah. The cactus seems a little bit dark though, and it's kind of melting with the background. I will maybe use a lighter color for the cactus, just so it stays in the foreground, and you know, the background kind of creates the darker contrast to it. So the you can see the shape a little bit better when there is more contrast. What do you think, Lina?
Yeah, I agree. A little bit more contrast, but overall the shapes are really interesting. It's really fun.
Yeah, great job, Anthony. Ooh, this looks almost like a professional. Let me quickly zoom in here. This almost looks like a professional pattern for like wallpapers, right? What do you think, Lina?
Oh my God! Right, it's so small on my screen. But let me like getting to your head. Do they have the bigger version in there by any chance?
Let me see if I can. If I open the original, if that gives me the bigger option.
Oh no.
Not really. If I knew how to zoom in, that would be great. I will learn it for the next session, I promise. Yeah. But yeah, I think here generally you did a very great job. It's all very fluid and kind of goes into each other, and the background and the foreground kind of also, you know, have a correlation. So I think it's great. And also you created this gold looking you know, shapes that kind of follow the lines of these drops almost. So I think, and the colors are also great, and I love the fact that you didn't only use one tone but multiple tones and make it more three-dimensional. I just think it's a great job. All right. Ooh, this looks fun too. This is the one that Erica made from. Oh no, never mind. They look very similar, but it's a different artist. Cool. Yeah, this looks really cute. I love the colors here. Again, I think this very light yellow background works super well with all the other colors you picked. The orange and this turquoise and the purple. It just works together. What do you think, Lina?
It works really well. Yes, I don't have any feedback. I think it's perfect. The colors are working great. The shapes are working great. Even like I like how they're distributed as well. I think it's perfect.
Awesome. Great job, Erica. Ooh, I like this. This reminds me of those, like science books when scientists used to draw
Hmm?
the different plants and what they do to the human body or something like that. Like herb scientists.
Yes, it's really
I really like
cute.
this. Yeah, it's really nice. There is also little elements that almost look like butterflies. So, and also this color combination that works really great. The darker green and the white on top. I just think it's very well done. Great job. Back.
Oh, there's a bigger one.
And Michelle has posted the pattern again. Oh yeah, it's the same one. Okay. Let's check out this one. Shuja Graphy. I think it came out good. Just one thing again I have with the problem with the legibility, that maybe you could have used for the shadow, a shadow that's not like interrupting. Maybe that would help the legibility. I think this purple color is very strong here, so you kind of follow the purple a lot and the white, and that kind of creates this um like as if the letters are cut off and it's not very well legible. What do you think, Lina? What would improve that?
Yes, I agree. I would consider taking out the background because that background it's
Oh,
very
okay.
complex, and
Also,
you're
yeah.
also superposing that with the thin lines of that half pattern that you have on the shape, so it's a little hard to read.
Hmm.
So either taking out the pattern and bringing up the color on the half.
Or I have another idea actually. If you make the lines more dense, more closer together, they
Mhm.
will they will be more visible because right now they're almost transparent. So I would maybe make the lines closer together, and make it more dense just so there is more white color, and maybe that will help with legibility.
Yes,
And
yes,
also
that
the
too.
background, of course. Maybe you could even use a layer of a semi-transparent color in
Mhm.
between this wooden texture and your artwork, so it kind of dims down the background a little bit and the background is not that noisy anymore, and you'll probably be able to read it better.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest that if you're sticking with the background.
But great job, Shuja. Awesome. We have some more science sketching here. I would like to know if you, Beck, drew this yourself or if you took it from some assets, because this is amazing. I really love the sketches. They came out so good. And it almost looks similar when you sketch something on paper with ink and then you use Adobe Capture to take a photo of that and translate it to vectors. It almost looks very similar to this. It looks like hand sketched. So I really like this. What do you think, Lina?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's the same as the other one, right? The same illustrations. I liked how it worked on the other color combination better, but this one is great too.
Yeah, I like the green and white too. I think this one was the previous version, and then
Oh.
Beck kind of thought, let me experiment a little bit with color. Oh, where was it? Where was it? I missed it. Oh, there it
Right
is.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she was like, oh, let me experiment with color a little bit, and that's the better version. So you made a progress here, for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Last but not least, we have to get back to Lina's work real quick. I love this. It's one of my favorite patterns, actually. I have several. I have several shirts in this pattern. I really like this. It's cool. Came out great. It's pretty well distributed. What do you think, Lina?
Yes, it looks like professionally done, like a perfect leopard pattern.
Yeah. That was by Jane. Jane, great job. Amazing. All right. Thanks, everyone. And you can still submit your daily creative challenges in here in the challenge tab. They will be reviewed by our amazing mentors. They will give you some feedback to this. So make sure to submit. And even if it's later, it doesn't matter. All right, Lina, let's jump in real quick to your work and let's sum things up. I believe we only have a couple minutes left. So let's make
Okay.
a little summary and what will be
Okay.
the next steps for you.
Well, the next steps for me would be to refine all of these, because we worked on it obviously like quicker and just like everything's all over the place, but we at least have a point of start. And what I would do is go in and refine these way more, and then play with, once I have all of these ready and the fonts and everything are established, then I would jump into the cover images. I would do those. It depends, obviously. Like sometimes you want, there's brands that want the same cover image for all across the board. Sometimes there's different things, so I would work with the person in charge of the brand and see what they would need. And then I would, one thing really important, I would make these, once they're done, I would make them templates. So I'm just gonna show you guys super quick how I would do a template for a client, so that they can change it easily. And so I would have a layer. Imagine all of this doesn't exist, because it would be a completely different document. So in this document, I would have like the background and elements that I don't want them to change. So let's say in this case, the new product, it's part of the background, because this type is not meant to be changed. So I would have this, and then everywhere where I have a picture, I would also create a new layer and say photo goes here.
So you basically make the file more understandable for the client, right?
Yes, exactly. And then like type goes here, and that is and then I will save it and go over them on a call and explain how the document works. So font, and then they will be able to change. This would be locked, and they would only be able to change this text. And I make sure that, let's say, what the best placement is, which is centered, because if they're working with a smaller product, that would be centered still. So I make sure that the type is centered,
is all prepared for them to not make mistakes.
Exactly. And then I will save it and send it to them on an Illustrator document.
Okay.
So that's the way.
Is there anything important that you need to make sure you click on when you export or when you save the Illustrator file?
No, with the Illustrator file, I would just save it normally, like social media assets for client.
And then make sure the format is set to AI.ai, so it's not translating into whatever, anything else. There is a PDF and so on.
And then these just leave the default. And that's it.
And you can also, what I sometimes do is, if I don't want the client to change this imagery, or if I provide them assets that, for example, are not meant to be changed, I export it as a PDF where you are not giving the permission to access the vectors and everything in the file. So the client actually can just access the image, and whenever they try to click on something, they cannot select any object. So it's just saved as an image, basically. That works too.
Yes, that works when they don't need to change anything.
Yeah.
Good too.
Awesome. And we had a question here. Karen is asking, when you put together the brand guidelines, do you use the client's branding or do you use your own, if it makes sense?
Yes, it makes sense. When I put it together, I actually use the client guidelines. I can I think we have a minute left, so
Yeah.
maybe I can show
Very quick one.
something. Let's see, one that I've been working on. These are this is a work in progress, but you guys can see how it would use their branding. So because I don't know if you guys have seen my branding, it's red and we use that Recoleta font. So I would go into their own branding right away. So they can also, and this helps me because they can picture how their types and everything is working together from the get-go.
Can you click through real quick so we kind of get an idea? Because this is very interesting. Just click all the way through very fast, because we have very little time left. Oh yeah, there we go. The logo right there is very well defined. You have the typefaces, we have the colors.
This was actually, I did not design the logo. They came to me to design their brand guidelines, and we've gone through rounds of these. It does not look like this anymore, but
awesome.
This is how I would present to a client.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lina. Everybody send up emojis for Lina.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. It's been a wonderful 2 days.
It's been such a nice journey with you. Thank you so much for all of your tips and tricks. And tell us about the assets that you wanted to share, just on a quick note before we sum up.
Yes, so you can go to onlychilddesign.com/Adobe Live to see what we've talked about. If you guys want anything that we have talked about in this episodes, or anything is helpful to you, put it in the chat right now before we end. So we'll make sure to include that. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Lina. And if you want to follow Lina on Instagram, it's Only Child Design, right?
Yes, with only one D between child and design.
And I am just another sunny girl on Instagram. So if you want to follow me, you can do that as well. Awesome. Thank you guys, everybody, for tuning in from all over the world. Lots of love and a lot of inspiration for you for this week and the next week. We'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.
You guys are awesome. Thanks.